Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're joining us for this session. My name is Shalom Odama, and it's a privilege for me to be in front of you this morning, to talk about a very vibrant topic, something I feel, cuts at the heart of young people and young businesses, and it's a rare honor and privilege for me to be here. So I just want to first of all appreciate the organizers, Africanovate Youth Initiative, for giving me this opportunity to share on my little insights, and to lend my voice, in terms of youth, young businesses, and all of that. So this morning, I would be speaking briefly on the topic, the challenges young entrepreneurs or startups face in Africa. The challenges of startups and young entrepreneurs in Africa. And first of all, I just want us to understand how vibrant, how creative, how energetic our population is in Africa. Africa is blessed with so much resources, so much creativity, so much ideas, so much. We are blessed with so much, yet we are faced with so much limitations as well. And I'm hoping that with this short time, we'll be looking at these challenges and possibly looking at solutions also, to how on how we can tackle these challenges. Um, you know, Nigeria was estimated to have about 3,360 startups in the year 2020. In the year 2020, that is actually the largest in Africa. It shows how much, and personally, I feel that statistics it just gives an idea to to what our true, you know how much investment, how much um, tenacity we are putting in setting up businesses, in trying to make, we would say, make ends meet. And I say that to say that the bulk of the borderline, or the what is pushing so much initiatives or startups or young businesses is can be accredited to the state of the economy, can be accredited to, there's the rate of unemployment, whether I call rate of employment or the rate of unemployment, where young people are out there, you know, looking for, before it was a cry for education and education and education and education. And one of the things that we failed to, put into consideration is jobs at the end of this education. And that is on one end. On another end is that we were just taught jobs, and we come out to the wider space, or to the um, wider audience, and we realize that there's no jobs. And we begin to look into what we can do, look into what we are good at, what we can sell, what we can use as a form of exchange, of value. And that has it's a good thing, even though as much as it has its downside, it's also a good thing, where we are not, since we don't have the opportunity to um, access to uh, good structures that ensures that every graduate or every young person doesn't have to bother about their welfare or their livelihood, then it has forced us to begin to think on what we can do and how we can better ourselves, and in turn, better our society. it's a wonder where you check online, or even on your WhatsApp status, you check, you cannot jump two or three status updates of other people without you encountering one form of business or the other, where we have things where we're buying, or we have things that we are selling and hoping for to meet people that would be interested in what we are selling. So the presence of startups in our communities, in our society, and in Africa is not alien to us. We understand and we see it play out, in all of that, in all around. But we are also not ignorant of the challenges. As much as everybody now is a CEO, everybody is a CEO, everybody is a CEO of this empire, that empire. But you are CEO, you are the one running your business, you are the one looking for clients, you're the one doing your marketing, you're the one doing your social media, you're the one doing your content creation, you are everything, yet you are CEO. And you see CEO, yet we are not even, there's so much pressure, there's so much demand that we cannot even milk out the benefits of the efforts that we're putting into our businesses and all of that. And but there's also one thing I want to say, which is basically the what I want to spend time really talking about when it comes to the challenges, of businesses, young entrepreneurs, and startups in Nigeria. I know we can see government structures, we can see legal matters, we can see there are a lot of challenges that we would want to accredit to, you know, the why our businesses are standing or failing, excuse me, or struggling. A statistics from Statistica, a study that was made, a statistical report, estimates that the survival rate of startups, in Africa is about 75% in the after the first year, and it moves to 46 after 3 years, and 25% after 5 years. And this findings was made in 2020. It means there's a high rate of businesses in um, in Africa to close up or to collapse within the first year. We have about 75% likelihood of collapse within the first year. So you would want to ask, what can I do? What can I avoid? What strategy can I put in place to ensure that I run a sustainable, business? I would share some of personal challenges with memory bank imagery. Funny enough, we started memory bank imagery in 2021. Since 2012, it was birthed on a vision to preserve, you know, memories of people, because we believe that memories are precious. But we saw the poor understanding of how precious these memories are. So we looked at preserving these memories, both in motion and still, pictures along the line. And in this 2 years period, we've seen couple of challenges from starting in a new location, new market. We had to, get customers. We had to invest in advertising. We had to, convince people. We had to do a lot of free shoots just to, in a bid to create awareness for the brand, and all of that. And one of the reasons why as a team lead, why I am confident, and it doesn't seem like the business is so young, is because of the foundation I had, before I started the business. And I think that is the major problem with most startups. is is the fact that for most of us, we we just want to own stuff. I put it to you that most of the startups that we have are not supposed to be startups. Instead, they're supposed to be resources for already established companies. What do I mean by that? For most people, they just want to own a business. I don't want to work in 9 to 5. I want to be my own boss. I want to do this. 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 I want to make money. And they jump into businesses. And it's easier when you have not started a business to feel like once you start a business, once you are running a business, money begins to come. Since you just be chilling as a CEO, you don't have to work 9 to 5 in quotes. You just sleep. You wake up when you want. You are an entrepreneur. You wake up when you like. You do whatever you want. You go where you want to wherever you want to go, and all of that, and all of those mirage. But when you start business, you realize that you're not just working 9 to 5 anymore. You're working all through and around the clock. And you see that the money that you think you will be making, it is not happening as fast as you thought it would. You know, you encounter different challenges as a startup. As a startup, startups encounter various challenges, various challenges, various challenges. But one of the reasons why personally I believe that we still have this struggle with some of these challenges, or we are unable to maximize the time and navigate through you know navigate through the different challenges we encounter day by day is the fact that one, we are not trained. And I know that for many people will say, but I'm educated, or you will say, what is there? It's not just to have a product and to sell. And for most of our educational upbringing, or the conventional educational system that we have, in Nigeria, there is the poor practicality of what the market really represents. We would when I was in school, so I studied quantity surveying, like you might have seen from my introduction. And one of the things that we were taught then was that just learn this one now. Is actually is different on the field. So why are we learning what is not applicable? Why are we learning what is not going to be useful in our point of practice? But there's that to it. And for most people also, there's the studying one thing and ending up you know doing something else. If somebody studies to be an engineer and they finish becoming um, a hairstylist, or they become a photographer. By the way, I study conserving and I'm a media person today. So there's that training. And so when I say training, I'm not just talking about this, the educational part, our inability to be exposed to um, hands-on training on the business that we say we want to do. That's lack of 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 experience in the area that we are running our business in, and all of that. So if we are privileged to, and there are different types of education. There's the education, most of us now we say we are YouTube graduates. There's so much information on the internet, but the problem now with so much information is that with the wrong guidance, you can have so many information yet be stranded if you're not guided, properly. So there are courses you should expose yourself to as a business owner, especially as a startup, as a startup company, or as a startup executive. You should expose yourself to learning. Expose yourself to learning. But the one of the things, like I said, that helped me um, as a startup is the fact that I was I spent some years in a company that I was trained in. I had my background. So after, let me give you a brief background on my journey into photography and video and all of that. So after graduation, I had a lead in to look into photography and learn photography. So after I graduated, I went back to Minna and I went to a studio where I told them that, hey, I just want to learn how this thing works. Funny enough, on the first day of my being there, I was given a camera, I was given a key to the place, and in fact, I took a session on that day, and all of that. But from there, I went to another studio. I worked at a photo lab. All these places, I was not paid. I was not paid for service, but it didn't affect me because the mindset I took into that venture was to see how things are done, and I appreciate the last place I work at FTA Studio, where I really want to use this opportunity to appreciate, my boss then, Mr. Ike. He I was trained. I had hands-on experience on the job, which gives me he exposed me to that business had been running for almost 30 years. I was able to tap from the wealth and the experience and the structure of an already established business. So one of the challenges we have in Africa, even as young people and as young businesses, is the fact that we just want to we just want to be, we just want to do. We don't want to humble ourselves to learn. We lack the discipline for service. We don't want to put our heads down and say, since he's already working for somebody, how is he working? How is he working? How is he working? What, how, why is this things this way for this person? What's their response to the challenges that they face? One of the challenge I've been facing as as an executive is I've always looked back to when I was working, and I'm like, I know I've experienced something like this, so I know what to do. But most of us, we think we know what to do, but we are there's a lot of guesswork, there's a lot of try and error, there's a lot of trying to figure things out, trying to get it in. The thing is that at the end of the truth is that you might actually figure things out, but it will come with a lot of pain, it will come with a lot of delay. Some people say if you want to stand tall, stand on the shoulders of giants. When you have some form of service or the other, use that time to grow, use that time to learn, use that time to understand the landscape, to understand the pattern of the industry. Use that time. Use that time. So many of us, we avoid internship. We don't want, and if we are going somewhere, it has to be a job that they are paying us. If money is not involved, we are not doing it. If money is not involved, we are looking for the next thing. But beyond money, knowledge. Beyond money, knowledge. Beyond money, knowledge, experience, experience, experience. Instead of you to start competing with an already established business, instead submit yourself to those businesses, make collaborate, associate yourself with these people, share ideas, share experience, understand how they work, learn from them. Pride is one of the major problems why young businesses struggle. You don't know, but you want to prove a point. That is not the case. That should not be the testament or your experience, as a startup or as a business owner. Like you are there now looking at me, you are there listening to me. You have a business that you are running, and you really don't know what you think as much as you think you know. Go for paid meetings, go for paid. There are many paid programs, there are many free programs. Look for these things online. Equip yourself in business, equip yourself in gather the skills. I know that you don't have a first degree in marketing or in business administration or in whatever, but it's no excuse for your business to suffer. It's no excuse for your business to continue to go down. Instead, expose yourself, to learning. The next thing I want to say is mentorship. Mentorship. One of the challenges of business is business owners, young business owners in Africa is mentorship. 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 We are a continent with so much or so many role models for little mentors. You might ask, what's the difference between a role model and a mentor? A role model is somebody that is succeeding in an area you admire or you hope to succeed in. But a mentor is somebody that is has the experience and the knowledge in an area that you intend to go to, or an area that you are on, that has direct contact or relationship with you. It's somebody that you can call at any time and say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing, what can I do? It's somebody that you report to. One of the problems and challenges in young businesses is accountability. You're not accountable to anybody. You are your own. You run your business by yourself. You eat your money by yourself. You take loan by yourself. Everything you do, you by yourself. But that is not the case for anybody that wants to go far or run a sustainable business. You must be accountable to somebody that can see the steps you are taking and say, no, I don't think this is best. Try doing this instead. Try doing that. I'll share a personal example here. I had an issue in business last year, and it was a pain in my neck. I didn't know what to do. I had different ideas, to go about it, but I wasn't sure of the outcome. So I called my mentor, and I told him this was the situation. And I was like, no, he has had this experience and that experience and this experience, and this is how he went about it. Because if I go about it this other way, it will lead to this and it will lead to that. And I said, okay. I followed that, followed his counsel, and everything, worked out perfectly. So what happened if I just moved based on my own intuition? What would the results be? You don't have to struggle in your business. You don't have to struggle. I know that there are challenges with startups, and like I said, there are challenges that are it's not continent specific. Irrespective of whatever you are doing, whatever you are, whether it's a business, whether it's ministry, whether it's whatever you want to start up, there are certain challenges that you must experience. But if you have a background of training in it, if you have somebody that is that is knowledgeable and experienced in that area, it's easy for you to navigate through the process. It's easy for you to navigate through that time. So don't be an island of yourself. Don't live in isolation. Don't allow pride to keep you from growing in your business. Don't allow arrogance stop you from maximizing your resources. Because the truth is that, as much as we say there are so many challenges now, the early years of business, it also presents to us a lot of opportunities. It gives us the luxury of making certain mistakes and learning from those mistakes and forging forward. Because at that level, you have little attention. You are not a threat to many businesses. You are just trying to build something. So it's one of the best and it's a time that is filled with so much, opportunity and so much freedom. But if you misuse that time by taking a wrong step, and you are not looking back, nobody to correct you, nobody to, guide you on whatever, you would end up in so much problem. I saw a reel or a post on IG, I think last week, of a business that she said, things I wish I knew when I started business. She was talking about how, she had a business, she grew a business to some extent, only for her to realize that her company name was already registered. Another company had the copyright on the name and all of that, and she was now, forced to change her own company name. It meant her, money was lost because they had to rebrand. They already had packages that they had to dispose, and start afresh, and all those struggles and all of that and all of that. But if you have, you know, mentorship. I remember when I was about to register, memory bank imagery. But by the way, it's registered as MB imagery. My mentor told me, hey, don't do this like this, so don't register it this way, oh. Don't do this like this, so when you did like this, it saves you from this. When you did like that, it saves you from that. That those information, helped me to structure things rightly at an early stage at an early stage. So what I'm saying in essence, today, even as I begin to round up, is that challenges would definitely come. There are different challenges, but if you have, the right knowledge, the right guidance, the right, you have somebody that you can always run to. You have an already established structure that you can reference your business from. It saves you a lot of stress. It saves you a lot of loss. Saves you a lot of, you know disasters that could come up um, for your negligence, or your taking the wrong steps even in your business. So excuse me. So just have this in mind as a young business owner. Have this in mind as a startup business owner. Even have this in mind if as you even intend, to start up your business, and I assure you, you will definitely succeed. Thank you.